This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you are tuned into episode 195 of The Real Word.
Word is up. Ooh, we should back ourselves in.
Yeah.
Will you be around here?
Back it in for what?
5 weeks.
You want to know what date that would be?
Yes.
I will tell you right now.
We'll be into like Thanksgiving.
That's like Thanksgiving week.
No, it's not Thanksgiving week. Oh, I guess it could be around there.
5 weeks, honey. That's Thanksgiving.
And I've got a trip right before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so we miss a week there. So it's really going to be 6 weeks. So we're so maybe we should back it up to like your December trip.
We'll figure out.
Let's back ourselves. I feel like we should plan the rest of the visits.
All right.
Based on
we'll see what happens. I know what's happening on this podcast. We've got Zillow, murder, and nudity.
Murder.
That is a lot going on.
There is a lot going on.
There's a whole heck of a lot going on.
And someone's calling you that you should probably be answering.
I know. I really should answer that call, but we're not going to do that. We're jumping right into Racket number 1. Zillow pauses home buying as tech-powered flipping hits snag. This came out over the weekend. I was shocked to see it. They were pushing ahead very aggressively.
Fast.
We just did a recent episode on the fact that they're not only buying homes, but they're buying them significantly over value. Right. Maybe they're like, wait a minute, we just bought 1,000 homes over market value.
I think they did more than that. What's the number on there?
Well, they bought 3,800
the last quarter.
In the second quarter. I don't know how many they bought in the third quarter. Yeah. Obviously, they were still buying in quarter 3. Mm-hmm. But the email says the iBuyer operation has hit capacity for 2021. They're taking a break.
They're gobbling so much shit up that they're pausing, pretty much.
They are taking a break. They acquired the 3,800 in quarter 2, but they're going to stop pursuing new purchases for the remainder of the year as it works through this backlog of properties it already has in its pipeline. They said, we're operating within a labor and supply constrained economy inside a competitive real estate market, both of which we've talked about a bunch,
right? Especially
in the construction, renovation, and closing spaces. Jeremy Waxman, Zillow's chief operating officer, said in a statement, we have not been exempt from these market and capacity issues. Now have an operational backlog for renovations and closing. You talk about renovations, you got to know some people in those. We talk about the last mile, things that you can do.
You got to kiss some major ass.
As a real estate professional that Zillow can't do, it's know and take care of the contractors in your market, right? You can do that, and Zillow can't. They're just going around trying to get prices and get people to work.
I'll tell you though, the thing that we're finding though the most is you could probably find a contractor. It's just that contractor can't find enough people to like not just show up to work, but to continue to show up for work. I mean, they're coming for a day or two and then leaving. And certain
supplies on our investment. How long ago did we order cabinets, and what will the cabinet run be? How long?
Well, so that was a little bit of a different issue because we did order Fabi Wood, and Fabi Wood shuts down for the month of September because they're a Jewish-based company.
The whole month, though?
Yes, because there's a lot of Jewish holidays. Usually they're at 3 weeks, but I think we were closer to 5 or 6 because of that. But again, other companies, though, I mean, you're looking at least 12 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we know on 66 High Street, the development we have, some people are waiting
months.
8 to 12 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's taking forever.
You got all kinds of issues there. Now, if you go back to a recent Real Word,
then you go to like Sherwin-Williams, they don't even have paint. Yeah. They don't even have paint at Sherwin-Williams.
Which episode was that we talked about?
Not long ago.
It wasn't long ago. Okay, so 193. You just go back 2 episodes. We're talking about...
You talk about your friend? Is that the episode talked about your friend?
Yeah. We talk about the friend. We talk about that TikToker.
Good thing they closed those out.
TikToker just went viral for that whole thing talking about Zillow driving up prices. They have been in quarter 3. We know because we covered it here in episode 193. You got to go check that episode out where they're not driving prices up, but they were paying more money, significantly more money. The 2 houses I talked about in San Antonio for the home than what it was worth, $40,000 or $50,000 for more than what any of the comps in the neighborhood would go for. And now all of a sudden they're completely pausing. So it is a little interesting because it's like they were so aggressive with their purchases that they were willing to pay over market value. So I'm like, you know what? They're building brand trust. They're building loyalty here. They're doing this and they know something now that we don't know. Now it looks like they didn't know maybe what their plan was for the year.
Or they didn't realize how difficult it was really going to be to get these things renovated.
That, I mean, that they certainly
but that's
probably
mind-blowing.
had an issue
I
there.
mean, turn on the Today Show and like you'll see all the crates sitting out in the ocean. I mean,
did they just
appliances.
did they take the amount of capital for granted? Like we'll be able to push our way through those little problems. This is why real estate.
Well, but it's interesting though too.
Very local too.
For that, but it also is kind of telling. And again, it kind of goes with the next racket that we're talking about. Like a lot of people were just grabbing. So they clearly were falling into the grab, buy.
I don't like buying 3,800 homes and planning to flip them all. That's a really bad strategy because there's so many things. Obviously, you're in 3,800 locations trying to get 3,800 contractors potentially. You have market conditions that can change. We're still in a low inventory market, so that shouldn't hurt them really too bad. But I like the buying and hold. BlackRock, what they're doing, just buying single family homes at scale and holding them is a better plan. It's probably even more predictable for your investors, right? For your shareholders.
Well, who knows? Maybe that's why they're pausing to see what is their next.
Yeah, maybe they're going to get into the rental. That would be a total shift, though, from what they've said in the past. I don't know. I thought they were going all in on this move right now to really ramp up to potentially opening up brokerages in some of these communities. So now they're taking a step back. I'm shocked. I think it's a little bit of a racket. I think Zillow is still the clear beast. The stock is down into a really interesting level that you may want to get in and start buying again. I got back in when it was like hit 85 recently.
Yeah, tell Whitey.
Yeah,
have him start grabbing.
I like the Zillow stock again. But because I think where they're going long term, they're not going to lose 3 out of 4 buyers using their app anytime soon. So, but this is definitely a red flag in terms of what their plan is with buying all of these homes. Racket number 2. We'll link this article up. It's a crazy one. 84-year-old buyer fatally shoots his agent over a home dispute. All right, so this is in Portsmouth, Virginia. Okay.
This was sort of trending last week, but we thought it was
trending, and then they had a follow-up to the story.
Yeah, well, we were going to talk about it last week, but we were like, we don't know the details.
Yeah.
So we're like, this is a little anticlimactic. All we know is that there was death.
Inman covered it. I'm going off the Realtor Mag article. We'll link that one up, but Inman also covered it, and it's been all over. People have shared it. Agents have shared it all over. So, all right, so you've got this home buyer, 84 years old. He just moved into his new home in Portsmouth. He had purchased the house sight unseen, from Alabama. So he moves in. The next day, he calls his real estate agent asking to return to the house. This is what a neighbor said. So the agent, 41-year-old agent, real estate professional with Long & Foster in Suffolk, Virginia, arrived at the house to talk with the man about his concerns. Buyer had some concerns, and the conversation turned deadly. The police arrive. They were later called to the home, where they say that this buyer admitted to them that he killed the agent. So after he admits it, he was speaking for police from his doorstep. He quickly shut the door to his home, grabbed his gun, and a gunshot ran out, and he had taken his own life.
Right.
So there you go. That's, I guess, what happened. And, the police obviously found the agent later inside the home with the fatal gunshot wound. So we always have when in past, you talk about the Beverly I forget her full name.
I'm blanking on her name too, because that was
a long time ago,
but not long enough ago. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. 8 years? Was that
a lot of these situations? No, it wasn't 8 years ago. I think it was like 12? 4 years ago.
No. It was
we covered it on the Real Word.
No, we didn't.
No.
I really feel like, okay, you keep talking.
All right. Anyways, there's been situations over the years where we talk about women really having to protect themselves, especially going out and meeting somebody for the first time.
Right.
I'd love to remember the name there on that one. Where they're going into a weird situation. They're at an open house, and you know, they're uncomfortable, and things can turn and have turned out deadly where, you know, women have been raped and murdered meeting somebody for the first time at these homes. Beverly Carter, yeah.
2014.
So that was, yeah, you're right.
7 years ago. Yeah, I thought, I know.
7 years ago, yeah.
He said I was right.
Maybe there was another one since then. But that was a tragedy.
This was really, I think, when it really came to light that brokerages really needed to start talking about, you know, like self-defense and making sure people knew where you were, telling people where you were going. You know, talking, I remember in our office, it was like, you know, if you called the office, it was like the red file that in like with like the address, so people would know that you were in danger.
And we really stressed, I know we've talked about this situation, maybe like a situation like this on the Real Word in the past, but we always stress, like, women, you got to really be careful, you know, maybe consider getting a carry permit or, you know, self-defense, you know, class, those kind of things. But now here is a situation where a male real estate agent went there just thinking, hey, I'm going to handle, the buyer's already closed. I'm going to handle just the concerns about the house, maybe doesn't know how something works, whatever. And went over there and ends up getting murdered. And that's crazy. Horrible. So you just never know what you're dealing with.
Well, and again, and we've talked about it, you know, again, especially in this market, you know, doing this sight unseen offers. And, you know, we obviously gave our opinion if we were representing a seller, you know, sort of my apprehension about accepting it because of not this severe of a reason, but people being really upset on the other side. I mean, it's so unfortunate. Again, I do sort of blame, obviously, the temperature within the real estate market for this. Clearly, the guy was not stable. But again, and it's interesting, though, too, because if it was sight unseen, he had never seen the home, I also wonder if the agent really ever met this gentleman, too. So it could have almost been like a first encounter.
Doesn't go that deep into detail based off of what I've read.
But like if he has never even seen the home, again, I know I'm making a few assumptions here, but
sight unseen will never work at scale. Not because of a situation getting deadly, but because I don't care how great of technology comes out in the future. At the end of the day, you are physically living in that house. And people, most people, are going to need to see the house, feel the house, get a sense for it in real life, IRL.
100%. I mean, think about, I mean, even me as a buyer, and I don't know if you can agree or not, but like, I think every home that I have purchased, as soon as the place is empty, I cry my eyes out and I can't even believe what I just bought. And that's me actually loving the home when I first go in. It's just now that it's empty and you can see it all, I always get a little emotional. You rented first. Did you get a little emotional when you bought?
Well, no, the first house I ever moved into,
well, you renovated it. I would like...
I've never cried over a house. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It was so sad. So again, I could never, I'm such a control freak though. I could never do a sight unseen, but yes.
Yeah. Sight unseen, it's just not going to work. And so listen, agents, that's a benefit. You're in a contact sport, but you're also in a I guess a contact sport that can turn really bad really quickly, like this one.
Speaking of which, I mean, do you see the ad? That's not
I'm trying not to look at this ad. Anyways, all right, let's go to the Marketeer of the week, which is a total racket. Could have been a racket. Realtor stars in shocking full frontal nude photos to promote LA listing.
I feel like these things are always happening in California.
This is a Post article, and you can pull it up and get a look for all these photos. You can also, let's put the photo up right here.
Let's put them up there.
On
let's
Instagram.
Throw it up there.
Let's get that New York Post photo.
After we hear Byron say, Nicole, you were right again, and then we'll put the photos up.
Why would you be right?
You said I was right before.
Earlier,
we're just repeating.
No, let's put the photo up so everybody sees it. New York Post, Instagram. This real estate agent sure is cocky. That's how they lead off the Post article.
Stop it.
Lately, agents are getting more creative in an attempt to promote their listings. One particular agent may have taken it a bit too far when he orchestrated a full, it says NS.
Not safe for work.
Oh, not safe for work. Is that what NSFW?
Really? Did you Google that or did you just know that?
No, it's like IRL. It's like a
NSFW naked photo shoot.
All I know is WTF. That's the most important one.
Inside. So this agent, David Ferrigio. Congrats, David. You're the marketeer of the week.
Congratulations.
It's in his latest listing on Instagram.
I have so many questions for David.
2-bath home for $1.2 million in Monterey Hills. And he says, my clients are aware who they hired and my style of marketing. They are fantastic people. So he says they're aware who they hired and my style of marketing. But were they aware that this was going to be their campaign for their house? He didn't say that.
I can't imagine.
I don't know. The pictures had a lot of range. One showed Ferrigio.
A lot of range. I mean, the one in the bed, I feel like he was selling the bed. Maybe he was selling himself.
He dressed in a gray fleece robe with underneath paired with black suede
so
slippers.
I got to know, David.
He's one where legs really, are completely spread out.
You are really, you're scarred by that one. That one,
that was bad.
You're having a problem with it. The one in the shower is fine. That one's fine. You're fine with that one.
You can't really see anything there. I mean,
well, that's what I'm curious.
Can't see anything. It's all pixeled
really
out.
Naked, David, or you've got? I mean, he can't possibly really like that one's spot. And you really next time. I have a great lady that travels for spray tans.
Oh my god,
you can get a little spray tan action.
Listen, you're the marketeer of the week of what I'm going to say not to do. Agents, don't do this. I don't care. David says he's getting a lot of attention. He's on the New York Post. He's getting a lot of attention.
Yeah, he's a little cocky.
New York Post said he's cocky, not us.
No, I know.
I don't think this is going to work out for you, David. Tim Smith does some edgy videos, and we've covered those, and they're fantastic. They're entertaining.
He makes them, and he kind of turns them into a little mini series.
This isn't entertaining. It is.
Well, you're really you're turned off.
I'm very turned off. Real quick, we just went on to David's Instagram story, and he posted a story about how Compass, which we'll play that right now. So
should play it.
Let's play it right now so you can listen to it.
Epic.
Little PSA for you guys. Don't mind the sand around my eyes. I just got out of the ocean. But I received a phone call yesterday from a higher up at Compass who was very respectful, very nice, who notified me that Compass has decided to part ways with me. Compass has decided to let me go due to the post that I made. I personally cannot disagree more. It's okay that we don't see eye to eye and disagree on that. But I know what I was doing, and I know that the post isn't for everyone. That's all right. Was a little surprised considering Compass's stock price is down 50%, so I thought all this press might be a good thing, but I guess I was wrong. I'm on to greener pastures. I still got my business to handle. It's a beautiful Sunday. The New York Jets have a bye, so they're not going to lose. And I got a beautiful pumpkin spice latte in my hand.
So Compass let David go because of those photos. Now he took a big shot at Compass.
He totally went right for the jugular
with
and
their
stock price.
Which is true, by the way. And I've been saying don't buy Compass stock. Nothing to do against the company. It's just completely overvalued. And he mentioned that it's dropped 50%. And he thought that those photos might help the stock. Compass felt differently. They did not.
It sounds like Compass felt like you did.
They felt like I did. I mean, now would I don't know. I mean, that's pretty. It's a good question. Would I terminate for that? I mean, they wanted to make a stance that they do not appreciate him letting it all hang out like that. Now he thinks it was good for his business still in that Instagram story, as you just heard. He believes it was the right thing to do. He believes he got a lot of attention. He did. I still do not believe this will be good for his business. David, you can come on if you disagree with that. We could definitely have you on the podcast.
I still just want to know if he was really truly naked. I don't really think he was truly naked.
It's just
anyway.
I don't think it does anything. It got you a lot of attention for sure.
It got you fired. So it got you fired.
Got you fired. But he'll be able to pick up at another.
Obviously.
Brokerage. Think EXP would take him? All right, David. Yeah, I'd love to have you, David, on a confessional. You just got to wear clothes. All right. All right, that's a wrap here. We'll see you guys next week. Appreciate you tuning in. Please, if you're watching, consider subscribing and sharing this content with someone else who can benefit. And we'll see you in the next Real Word.
See you guys.
Keep it real.